Hello and welcome back to CS38 Racing, and today we're taking on Austria. And if you thought we were on a roll before, well, it's all about to end here in Austria. This is about the best moment of the weekend, just making an overtake there on one of the gas bikes. So if you want to see what happens, stick around and watch the video. Alright, let's jump straight into free practice. So it was difficult. The bike was just wanting to wheelie all the time out of the high acceleration corners, making it very hard to get the front wheel down to get any grip on the rear. Anytime we're on the heavy braking zones, we were trying to pick between the smallest front brake as well as the sort of second option up, but as you can see, just like it was there, it was causing a bit of problems. The bike was very heavy through change of direction. I don't know if that's primarily the effect of the aero. I suppose it would be. If you listen to a lot of discussion about MotoGP currently, the aero is very good in a straight line. It makes the bike really heavy in the corners. So with that being said, we tried our best, but we weren't really breaking into the top 15 at all with the times. We were 0.9 off coming towards the end of the lap here, even trying to follow Marc Marquez, and it just wasn't working out for us. So this wasn't setting up the most positive weekend so far in the season. In fact, it didn't give us much confidence leading into the next round, which will be Aragon, knowing that Aragon is definitely not one of our favourite tracks. So we round off free practice 1 in 19. Okay, so practice. Practice wasn't much better, to be honest. It was mainly this. There we go. A crash. And the rest of the session didn't get better, ending us in 20th there. Coming into this qualifying, we were trying to regain some ground here. We were doing okay comparative to the rest of Hondas, but that's not what we want to be doing. We want to ensure that we are going faster than Hondas, but also faster than Yamaha at the very minimum, beating the other Japanese manufacturer in the series. But that wasn't coming to fruition this time around. Now, normally Austria is a pretty good track. I find it to be a fun track to go around, particularly in Moto 3 and Moto 2. We've had strong results there in the past, but unfortunately with MotoGP, it's not coming, particularly with, I don't think we had a particularly good race here with the Aprilias last season, and it's not coming together here with the Honda currently. So let's chuck the bike out on the track. Let's see what time we could produce here. Let's see if we can produce anything worthy of something. If we could get ourselves close to, look, I'd even be happy with like 14th, considering how we're going. But we just got to see how it goes around the rest of the circuit. So let's jump into our track guide. We come down into turn 2 and turn 3. And it's different to what the Austria track originally was, but safety reasons we've had to. Coming into turn 4, now this is where we're having a lot of problems on this very big acceleration, sort of semi-back straight. All that wheeling is just losing us so much time that we're trying to make it back up on brakes, which caused the rear to be very, very twitchy, which due to, at the time of this recording, it wasn't that long ago that I was actually at the test in Malaysia and watching the Hondas go into the final corner. Whatever it was with Mir seems to have a lot of chatter on the rear coming into corners for whatever reason. There's a lot of bouncing around on the rear, as Honda has sort of documented that it is the rear grip that is plaguing them and their progress in modern MotoGP, as it seems very much so that the MotoGP of today, particularly this current regulation cycle, is looking at bikes primarily being controlled by the rear, which is why Ducati is so dominant. They've really got their head around how to use that Michelin rear tyre, whereas I feel a few of the other manufacturers haven't really got their head around it yet. We come into the first corner. We did okay. We've done a 1:30.702, but I don't think this is going to be anything great. Let's just continue here. Well, we've had to brake hard into turn 2. Turn 2 comes out onto this sort of mini straight here as we get ourselves in line for the braking zone for turn 4. heavy on the brakes, very easy to drop the front in this corner. Then we're back on the power through turn 4. See that front wheel just lifts up the whole way down this back straight. It's a really aggressive circuit for acceleration and braking, something that's really up the the Ducati and the KTM's wheelhouse of sort of rideability when you come to thinking about their bikes, but not something that's necessarily strong with the Honda in its current iteration anyway. So you come down into turn 7. Now you're really trying to keep as much corner speed as possible into turn 8 and turn 9. The little flick into turn 9, back on the power for the very short little straight here into the final section of the track, into the double right-hander to bring us back onto the main straight. So overall, the track here at Austria does seem, I suppose, rather simple in its layout, but if you mess up quite a few things, it could put you in a position where you're losing a lot of time, as is the case here. Let's see if we return to pit. Maybe we can play around with a few of the settings here and get ourselves in a position to gain a little bit more time with 8 minutes on the clock. Okay, so we've had a little bit of an adjustment of a few settings. I'm still trying to get a bit of feeling on the front end, which again is contradictory to what we were just previously talking about with the modern GP bikes being rather on the rear, controlled by the rear, and understanding the rear tyre is the biggest key to success in the current MotoGP era. But we're currently sitting in 10th, so it's not last, but it's not great either. Trying to get the bike to stop wheeling as much as possible. We want to try and get as smooth a flow through the track as possible. If we could pull off a point scoring position, like maybe a top 10, I think I'd be happy with that. But whoa, we've had massive head shake into turn 4. Don't know how we didn't go down there, but it's really exemplifying the problems we're having here with the Honda at Austria. Either it's a combination of the bike and my riding style on this track isn't matching, which is resulting in us, it really feels like we're fighting the bike, instead of being at ease with the bike and making the bike flow through the corners and gaining as much speed as possible through just being smooth, like smooth as fast. So we're trying to get that smooth and fast going, but I think by trying to do smooth and fast, we're ultimately in a position where we are losing time. Into turn 10. 5 minutes on the clock ticking down in qualifying. I don't think we're going to get through here. I think we're too far off the qualifying time to put ourselves into the top qualifying positions. Wide into turn 1. We do also have to take that long lap penalty in the sprint race as well, considering that we got done for impeding in one of the free practice sessions. Again, MotoGP stewards, a very different ball game in MotoGP games. The rears come up there and we're down. There we go. That's it's just a great way to keep the morale high here in Austria, with both the Repsol Hondas sitting ahead of us. Here we're still ahead of our teammate by 0.4, but it's not a great weekend out here at Austria so far. Oop, and we've gone down again. We just got track limits. So I think if we're using up our crash cards here, we're probably adding on to the queue with Joan Mir, who was probably the biggest crasher of 2024. I guess a bit hard to say it's all entirely his fault with the Honda being the way the Honda is, but not every Honda crashed that much. But either way, I really don't have much confidence that we're going to get anything more out of the bike here. Unfortunately, I think we've kind of hit the ceiling of what the Honda can achieve, particularly with the settings we're trying to get out of it. Oop. On the grass there. Trying to utilize every inch of the track that we can. But it does not seem to be working. Again, just the wheeling out of turn 4, it loses us so much time, so much drive, so much top speed. When we come across the line, there wasn't any improvement there. I don't think we're going to get any more time out of it. So, we've gone wide and we dropped the bike again. And that's where our qualifying ends. And we finish in 12th. So, on the back row, let's see if we can make anything come out of it for the sprint.
Heads from pole position. All of the other riders on the grid.
It's sprint time. So, the Ducatis have locked out that front row, I suppose, as expected. And I guess the Hondas have locked out the back row, as expected. Okay, we're off to a relatively okay start. I'd say 50-50 on that one. Got a long lap penalty to contend with. You know what, we're just going to take it straight away because we're already easing our way through the first corner, being cautious of any accidents that could happen. But there doesn't seem like there's any accidents that have happened this time round out of turn 1 as we come out of the first corner for the first time in the sprint race. Now we've got some work to do. We have to make sure that we can catch up to the back of the grid here, so at least we have something in store for the race. Oh, there is a crash that's gone down. That's Zarco. So unfortunately our teammate is not having a good time here either. But we're 1.7 seconds off the back of Taka Nakagami. And we're just trying to concentrate to bring ourselves back into this race and make sure that we have some semblance of a little bit of a comeback, but not as strong as we have had in the previous races, that's for sure. Well, we got all squirrely into turn 4 there. We did make a little bit of time. We're under a second now to Takaki Nakagami and looking to try and reclaim this round's Honda crown, though that's not too much to be proud of this time round, whereas at Silverstone we were making really good ground. Again, we can see that we do have a bit more pace than the Honda riders ahead of us, but the way that the bike handles any little mistake is just costing us a huge amount of time. Zarco hasn't really recovered from his crash. He's still 1.7 seconds back from ourselves here as we're closing in on Taka. Trying to get any little bit of slipstream here. Finally got a clean run through turn 1. Marini's out a little bit wide there. I wonder if he's going to... Yes, he does get a track limits warning. Definitely gained a Nakagami here. The two Hondas are getting in a little bit of a battle, so we might be able to capitalize off any mistakes that they do make. Trying to get into their slipstream so we're not losing so much out of the corner, but we still, like, that's just the perfect example. We lose about 3/10 there. Oh, the bike's sliding and we're not too trusting of what's going on into that corner. Out of turn 5 into turn 6. We are on Nakagami's tail now. Thought about a move, but it put us in an awkward position, so we've had to run deep. Try and make a cut back here. Over the track limits, but Nakagami is making a move through on Marini, and that's going to give us an opportunity to possibly get through. Are we going to force a move here on Marini into the final sector? We are. We also get through on Nakagami, but we've run wide. We weren't able to pull that up, so that's under investigation. Nakagami comes back through, but we undercut Nakagami and go back through for 20th place there, and 1.2 seconds ahead. On the track is Joan Mir. So we've got a warning for that incident. We've run a bit wide here also. But we're 4/10 clear of Nakagami now, so I think we can rest assured that we have cleared the two Hondas there. Oh, very twitchy into turn 4. Trying to get back on the power to make some use out of what we've got, but we're just losing time. So now we're a second off, and Nakagami is now a 10th behind us, so it's very evident that we're losing time out of that turn 4. Big twitch on the rear into turn 7. Closing in again on Mir. We'll be able to make a move now coming into the final lap to claim the top spot of Honda. We're being conservative here, trying not to run to the back of Mir. So we're just losing any little bit of time there while that front wheel stays in the air. We're going for a move on, but we're too wide and we're out of the kiloliter and it's down. That is, well, that's just sadly a bad race here in Austria. So I did warn you at the start of the episode that our luck with Honda was going to sort of run out, even though the past couple of rounds we've given quite a bit of hope to Honda faithful that we would be in a position to challenge maybe for top 5s, for podiums, Certainly podiums last time out in Silverstone. But this time round, it is not the case. We're dead last. We're even behind Zarco. We're 3.5 seconds behind Zarco. This is a write-off race. Hopefully this doesn't continue, even though the next round is Austria. Not Austria, is Aragon. So that's not good for us there. 23rd. Let's see what damage it's done to our championship hopes. We're 6th, so we're not too far off. But we are slipping on Maverick Vinales, as we were aiming for that top 5. But if we do get 2 top 6s consecutively from our rookie year into our second year, I think that's a pretty solid result. Let's jump down into the race and see what we can do. Okay, we're going to run a medium front and a soft rear. That might give us a bit more stability over the longer length of the race. So let's use that combination. Let's see if we can do anything here. I would love to get at least into the points here in this race. Is it possible? Let's find out. We've got similar start off the line to what we had in the sprint race. This time, we're already competing for top Honda. We're vying across that inside line. We've got a good run here. This isn't too bad. Already top Honda and making a move through on one of the VR46 Ducatis. We're stuck on the outside of one of the Gas one riders. I think that might be Fernandez. We're through on the Yamahas and looking to make a little bit of a move on the inside of the Red Bull KTMs. This is a good battle at the start of this race with a lot of the different manufacturers. A bit twitchy on the rear there. Miguel has come through and clean sweeped us. That's put us right to the back of the grid again. So it looks like it's another race recovering positions if we can. About a second off Luca Marini here. Hopefully this can put us in a positive position to be able to challenge for some points. We're out wide at turn 1. Oh, we've made an aggressive move there on Luca Marini, barged our way through, but I think the time for patience is over. Now let's see if we can dispose of Joan Mir. If we didn't have that tangle with Miguel Oliveira, I think we could have been in a good position to fight for the points, but I wonder if he's going to get a penalty for that. We need to get ourselves into a groove. We're already 1.1 pulling away from Luca Marini. We're 3/10 behind Joan Mir. Been a crash ahead of us. It looks like one of the Yamaha riders must have been, I think it's Rins. Rins has crashed. Ooh, we're looking to make a move on the inside of Joan in turn 1, but he manages to close the door. Really forcing the issue on Joan Mir there. We're going to look on the... Nope. Mir's on that inside line, so we couldn't look at an undercut on Nakagami there. But we're looking on it for a move into turn 4. We managed to pull that up without causing any further incident. We don't go down ourselves, but look, that's the biggest problem we've faced this whole entire Grand Prix, is the wheeling out of turn 4. Ooh, we're a bit stuck on the outside there. Good blocking from Nakagami. Oh, we forced our way through there. So our teammate Zarko is flying the Honda flag here at the moment in 18th position. There's been a crash in front of us. It looked like is it a Yamaha, or it certainly looked like a Yamaha or a blue bike. Ooh, we're well and truly wide there. Looking to try and line up a move on Zarko where possible, and if we can, that could possibly put us in the fight for the top 15. As we can see, Miller and one of the Ducatis not that far ahead. We've clipped Zarko there, so we haven't had the cleanest moves this time round, but the way the bike is at this track, I guess it's just like, well, we're going through or not going through, and in that case, I choose go through. Sure that the other riders will have plenty of opportunities to barge their way through. I mean, it happened to us in the first lap with Miguel punting us out of the way and us falling to the back of the grid. So I guess all's fair in love and war. Track limits there for Alicia Spargo. We're right on the tail of Acosta now as he's come out of that long lap penalty loop. Gives us a little bit of hope, something to chase here, because Miller is only one position ahead in 15th. So we could get ourselves into the points here at least. Scoring 1 point would be better than 0 points here. Big slide on the rear. It's forced us way out wide. We've lost a lot of time in that corner. Zarko's not too far behind us, so we've got to be careful. do seem to be having a strong enough pace that we could make a move on Acosta. Fabio Quartararo has a track limits warning. I think we're in a good position here. Quartararo, another track limits warning. Whoa, we've had to make a very opportunistic move there on Acosta. And there comes the incident warning with the interaction with Acosta. Unfortunately, it's resulted in a warning. Good battle, if that top battle for 13th position. If we can get onto the back of these riders, we could put ourselves in the position to gain a couple of points, which might make the weekend a little bit more valuable. Just out of the track limits there. Will we pick up a warning for that one? I was expecting that we would. Track limits again from Quartararo. He's got a long lap penalty. Whoa, very hot into turn 4. Are we going to be able to pull up? We've had to barge Bezzecchi out of the way. I think we'll get a warning for that one. We are showing that we've got the pace to be through to at least 14. 2 laps to go, but these mistakes are crucial because anytime we make up, we're just losing it in sort of things like that, like silly mistakes. Oh, we're out on the green curves there. We'll probably get a track warning for that one. Quartararo is just ahead as he's taken his long lap penalty, so we're not that far off top Honda position. We went for a dive on the inside. We weren't able to pull that off against Jack Miller. Very twitchy on the rear. Picked up another track limits warning there. Miller and Bezzecchi are starting to pull away from us. So those points, those precious points positions could be stretching away from us, even though we are currently in 15th with 1 point, but with the opportunity to pick up more points would be better. Again, it's just not... We're not getting it hooked up properly, and it's just losing us a whole bunch of time. Oh, we're a bit deep. Oh, we've lost the front. That's it. That's race over. Any points we're going to get is now gone down the drain. And that's just a abysmal weekend here in Austria. But let's just finish the race, get across the line, and hope that we can do better in Aragon. Even though we know that Aragon is not our favourite track at all. But that's just what we've got to work with here. And we've got all of that last sector very messed up. Either way, we're across the line. There we go. The 20th position there for us. Not good at all. We're quite a bit off the pace. Puts us down in 7th now, with Marquez moving ahead of us in the championship. So we've also got to contend with that as well, putting us 4th in the Constructors' Championship. So if you guys have liked this one, please appreciate the struggle that was going on there with the Honda. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So we've had a recent uptick in the viewership of videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for all your support and engagement. Let's see what we can do next time out in Aragon. Hopefully we can make the Honda work a little bit better. I'm not holding my breath for that. I'm thinking maybe after Aragon we can start an upward trajectory again. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Stay safe, have fun. See you on the next one. Bye for now.